we're doing a pre-release kit opening and deck build. This is the newest set, Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Looks pretty sweet, so we're just gonna get right into it. Step one is going to be open all of our boosters. So we got 6 play boosters of the new set, a little D20 for life counting, and we get our pre-release promos. So we got Outcast or Trailblazer. We got a green rare first. Open this up. Alright, so that is our sweet pre-release rare. Put the code up. First come, first serve. Whoever wants that, punch that into Arena, and you should get some 6 Outlaws booster packs on Arena. There you go. Alright, so first thing I do when I'm opening my cards, I like to sort by color. So that is what I will be doing right as soon as I open them. I like to give a quick check for my rare. Ooh, got one of those. Okay, so we got a rare vault card. We got Reanimate. And then our rare is Step Between Worlds. First rare is blue, so I like to do white, blue, black, red, green, multicolored artifacts, lands. Basic there. We got Decisive Denial, multicolored, red, black, red, land. White. Okay. Second pack. Token and our land. Ooh, Savage Smash. And our rare here is Akul the Unrepentant. Big Flying Demon. Double black and double red. Could be hard to cast. If we end up in black-red, though, you definitely play it. Okay, there we go. Alright, Humiliate. A rare is a Blooming Marsh, so we get a rare land. It looks like there's a good amount of color fixing in this set, so there's a good chance we'll end up 2 colors and probably splash a third, depending on if we open like a really good bomb that you really want to play that's maybe one of your 2 colors, maybe a gold card, that kind of thing. Okay, so we have a land, we got our red card. Ooh, it's a Crackle with power. Even Interrupter. Okay, green, multicolored. White, blue, black, green, red. White, blue, black. Planes, we got Foil Mobile Homestead. We got Journey to Nowhere, that's a nice one. Greed's Gambit. A big score rare. And Tiny Bones. Another rare. Looks like we might have quite a few black rares. So we gotta keep that in mind. Not all rares are super good and limited, but it's definitely something you want to note. See how many of your rares you actually could play in a deck. Green, Heartless Pillage. And then another black rare, we got Rush of Dread. Okay, so now that all of our packs are open, the first thing I like to do is just do a check for my rares, see if there's kind of a bunch in a specific color. I have a rare land that's in black, so that might make it easy to splash something if I need to. Just a few artifacts. We did have this big flying demon that we might want to play. We have our green pre-release promo rare. No other green rares. This is more of a personal thing. I just like to play all my rares in pre-release, so I like to check and see how many I can actually fit into a deck. So we have Crackle with Power. It's an expensive card, but pretty good if you can cast it. I feel like we got a bunch of rares in this pile. We have Reanimate, Greed's Gambit, Tiny Bones, and Rush of Dread. We have 4 black rares, pretty good. We had our Step Between Worlds, kind of like a sort of like a time twister for this set. You can plot it so that way you get to cast it for free and you have all your mana with your new cards. Pretty good effect with that. And we had an Aven Interrupter. Alright, so yeah, most of our rares are in black, so we might want to look at playing a black deck. So the two first things you're really going to want to look at for building a deck is bombs and removal. So let's take a look and just for fun, let's try and build a black-red deck. We got a bunch of black rares. We get this sweet 5/5 flying trample demon. We'll see if we can build that. Alright, so take a look at my lands here. See if there's any fixing. That's blue-red. That's colorless. Well, we don't have a lot of fixing for black-red, but that's okay. Alright, so we'll just take a look at these two piles, our black and our red. So, let's see. Anything that looks like a good bomb, good removal. Yeah, Trick Shot seems sweet. 6 damage to target creature and 2 damage to up to one other target creature token. So that is just some good removal. Crackle with Power deals 5 times X damage to each of up to X targets. So if you pay 5 mana, it deals 5 to 3 different things. Okay, well, that's pretty good. So we'll play that. Another Trick Shot. Prickly Pear. 3 mana for a 2/2 that enters and makes a 1/1 mercenary that gives target creature you control 1/0 as a sorcery by tapping it. It's pretty good. 3 mana for 2 bodies. Enters, discard, draw a card. It's not the worst. Storm Summoner attacks, make a 3/1 dinosaur creature token if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. We'll have to see how many creatures with power 4 or greater we end up with first. Thunder Salvo. Just looks like, yeah, okay. So this is just a shock that gets better with the more spells you cast. So that's just pretty good removal. Take for a Ride has Flash if you've committed a crime. Gain control of target creature, untap it, it gains haste. Alright, so we'll have to see how much targeting we can do. Which I think we'll be able to do with all of this removal. And I believe committing crimes is one of the mechanics that fits into black-red. So of course we'll play our giant flying demon. Oh, it's not even a demon, it's a scorpion dragon rogue. We have one of the signpost uncommons in Vile Smasher, Gleeful Grenadier. So Vile Smasher says whenever another outlaw enters the battlefield under your control, Vile Smasher deals 1 damage to target opponent. Okay, so we'll be looking at probably a lot of outlaws. So that's assassins, mercenaries, pirates, rogues, and warlocks. Okay, and then we have some blue-red. It's a white-black card. It's a red-green card. Maybe we might end up splashing for if we can, but we'll take a look. Alright, so let's take a look at our sweet black cards. Have Rush of Dread. It's one of our rares that just kind of really messes with our opponent everywhere. Make them sacrifice creatures, discard half their hand, lose half their life. This just seems super sweet, so we'll play that for sure. Tiny Bones is nice. It's like a Typhoid Rats with upside. It's 1/1 Death Touch for black, and then whenever it gets to hit your opponent, you can start casting their spells. So that's a good one. Greed's Gambit. Now this one is a little weird. So it enters, you draw 3, gain 6 life, make 3 2/1 flying bats. But at the beginning of your end step, you discard a card, lose 2 life, and sacrifice a creature. And when it leaves the battlefield, you discard 3 cards, lose 6 life, and sacrifice 3 creatures. We might actually not play this card. I feel like the downside to this might outweigh the upside. So you get a bunch of stuff when it enters, but you immediately start losing things. And then if they ever exile this with one of the white exile cards or anything that can destroy any permanent, then you're just in a lot of trouble. Reanimate is pretty sweet. We'll play this. It might hurt. You take damage when you bring something back, but you can target your opponent's things with it in their graveyard, so I kind of like it. I would play it just for fun. Then what else do we got here? Shoot the Sheriff. Really good removal. Destroy target non-outlaw. Great card to have. Let's see. Desperate Bloodseeker. Lifelink 2/2 lifelink for 2, and when it enters, target player mills 2 cards. That could be good. It targets an opponent, which is always good when you're trying to commit crimes. Let's see. Raven of Fell Omens. Whenever you commit a crime, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. And it's a 1/2 flyer for 2. Seems pretty good. Ooh. Black Snag Buzzard. 3 mana, 2/1 flyer. When it enters, it gets a 1/1 counter if something died. It's got plot, so that's pretty nice. We get Hollow Marauder. It's 1 for each card in your graveyard. It's a 4/2 flyer. When it enters, any number of target opponents each discard a card. For each of those opponents who didn't discard a card with mana value 4 or greater, draw a card. This I could see this getting pretty good. Late game, it might be a little cheaper, and it's a big flying threat. So I kind of like that one. Got Forsaken Miner. Just a good aggressive card. Another sweet 1-drop we can play. Nizumi Linkbreaker. It's a 1/1 for 1, but when it dies, you make a mercenary. Not bad. You can play that with this Corrupted Conviction. A couple nice cards to sacrifice to this and draw 2 cards. We have the Forsaken Miner and the Nizumi Linebreaker, so why not? And we got Skullduggery. Till end of turn, target creature you control gets 1/1, and target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1. So that can be a nice combat trick. Then let's see. When Unscrupulous Contractor enters, you may sacrifice a creature. When you do, target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. So this is nice just to draw some cards. We have a couple good creatures to sacrifice to it, and it's target player. So if you want, that can be a crime, or you can, if they're at 2, you can just finish them off that way. So I like that card. And let's see where we're at. So typically you want 23 cards and 17 lands in your deck. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we're almost there. We're looking for 5 more cards to play. We're looking like a pretty aggressive deck, so I think we'll play the Resilient Roadrunner. It's a 2/2 for 2 with haste. It has protection from coyotes. Very on flavor for any Roadrunner fans. So we'll play that. Protection from wily coyotes. And let's see. Deadeye Duelist. This is pretty good. These are kind of nice. Just to have a nice little defensive pinger. 2 mana for a 1/3 with reach. You can pay 1 mana and tap it to deal 1 damage to an opponent. Let's see. We got some Reckless Lackeys. They're nice and aggressive. We don't actually have a lot of 4-power creatures, so I don't think we'll end up playing the Scale Storm Summoner. I do think I like this Take for a Ride. Just a nice threaten at 3, and then you can get Flash. So you can, if you commit a crime on their turn, then you can just end of turn take a creature, and then you have all your mana available while you're attacking them with it. And is there any more black cards I missed here? I don't think so. Maybe we can look at our green cards for just a second. We do have this rare black-green land, so I'll take a quick peek, see if there's any green cards worth playing. It's gotta be really good if we want to splash for it. Okay, there's some decent removal. Target creature gets 1/1 until end of turn. Put a 1/1 counter on it instead if it's a mount. Then it deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. So it's just some nice removal. And then there's always our green rare. Let's see, what does this do? 3 mana, 4/2. It's got plot for 3. So when it enters the battlefield, add 1 mana of any color. Whenever another creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Okay, we don't have a whole lot of big power creatures, so we probably don't need to splash for green, but it's worth checking. So let's see where we're at now. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Now we have a pretty low curve, minus the trick shots and like the crackle with power, but it's kind of good to have a mana sink even in an aggressive deck. So I think I would still maybe play one less land in this deck. I like 16 in a kind of fast aggro deck like this. So I might play a couple of these Reckless Lackeys and looking for, I think, maybe just one more card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So one more. We have this Heartless Pillage. It's basically Mind Rot, but if you attack this turn, you create a treasure. We are doing a lot of attacking, but I think I want another 4-drop, really just to finish out the curve. So I think we're looking at playing this Quilled Charger. So it's a 4/3 for 4. When it attacks while saddled, it gets 1/2 and Menace until end of turn, and it's got Saddle for 2. So I think that's a nice little addition to fully round out the deck. So we're looking at a 16 land black-red aggressive deck here. So looking at the amount of black and red we have, we kind of need double red and double black. So I would probably just play 8 mountain, 8 swamp, and I think I'd probably call it a day there. All right, so that is our deck. I hope this helped anybody looking to play the pre-release coming up soon. And thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.